What are most dealerships getting completely wrong when it comes to their tech stack, John?
Visibility. Visibility.
Give me an example of what visibility means.
So
I know what it means, but yeah, give us a scenario.
So I can give you a very tactical scenario and then a broad strokes one. So I'll go with a tactical one, right? Visibility on the phone system, right? You may spend $100,000 to $150,000 a month on marketing to make the phone ring and somebody raise their hand and transact with the organization. That they're not calling you for advice on childcare. They're not calling you for, where the best dental place is, right? They're not calling you for the best pizza review. They're calling to do business with you, either that's service or sales or get an update on their vehicle, whatever that looks like.
That's right.
23% of those calls get missed. 38% of those calls go missed in service. That is a travesty.
I thought it was higher than that, but yeah. Okay.
It's a travesty. And these aren't my numbers. They're on our website. And they're pulled from a lot of resources from the industry. Car Dealership Guy is one of them, and several others, Automotive News. But that's a travesty because you've already spent the money to be able to do that, but you don't have visibility on the system. And if you don't have visibility on the system, you can't fix it. It's like, first get visibility, then measure it, then fix it. That's really the practical way of doing stuff. It's like, if I can't see it, I can't fix it. I don't know if I'm, Brad Wise talks about this a lot. He's like, I just want to be 1% better than yesterday. I'm not measuring against my competitors. I'm not measuring against anybody else. I just want to be a little bit better than we did yesterday. And having that visibility and plugging those leaks through SOPs, system design. And it's not stuff that you have to, this new product that comes down and has this new visibility. Like, you can literally do it with the systems that you have now. It may be more difficult to have the visibility that you need, but you really want to know what that visibility looks like. That's a practical application. And it's really threefold, because it's the money that you save from legacy phone systems. It's the marketing money that you recapture, because let's say you recapture 50% of that. Imagine if you could make 50% more appointments. And out of those 50% appointments, 7% sold, 10% sold maybe. And then you're recapturing 60% of your service appointments. That pays for itself there, right? And then the uptick of what you're spending. So it gets and it creates momentum and context. So that on the phone, like, just one example is phone system, what that looks like, right? The other piece is, we've seen Paul that I was talking about. They grabbed us when we were a little company. We were a couple guys and we were running around doing stuff. And Paul used to have 15 spreadsheets that he would take, Excel spreadsheets, and he would take, a financial statement for every store and key them in, and then, tell the boss 45 days later, like, this is what's going on. This is kind of what it looks like. And he would go belly to belly with whomever he had to talk to or coach or put your arm around and say high five and you're doing a good job or you're not. And so it's like this autopsy report that would happen often. And we started working really hard towards integrating all the systems together to give the organization visibility. And they bought a product off the shelf that gave them a 30,000 foot view, but only on the DMS side. And, so it's data within 24 hours, great product, but gave them, rather than keying in those 15 spreadsheets, you were just going to this one site that we're looking at DMS data. And a shameless plug here, we're aligned with an organization that gives you access to everything, right? Not only your DMS, your IMS, your Google Analytics, and it really creates the visibility in the organization and gets you out of the whack-a-mole of running a store. It's like, Tom Klein talks about tuck the octopus, right? He's like running an organization is like tucking an octopus, and he's totally right. I call it whack-a-mole. It's like you're running the store and suddenly you get punched in the face, like, oh, another problem. You get punched in the face. There's a letter from the AG. You get punched in the face. There's a manager that's stealing your employees from another place. And like, how do I look at this from a 30,000 foot view and have the whole enterprise on one screen? And then you're looking at an instrument cluster rather than sorry to use an aviation term, but a smoking hole at the side of a mountain, right? It's like, you don't want to look at the scene of the crash. You want to say, hey, my fuels, we got to manage this fuel, and we got to manage our bearing and our altitude. And we want to say, are all the gauges in green? And then you're running the organization. So that's what I mean by visibility. It's like, I can see what's working, what's not working. We had an organization that put this product in, and just by the savings that they got on the marketing side, they were able to pay for the whole thing and more, because they were spending on lead sources that were not providing the value because they didn't have it in their dashboard staring them in the face to be like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So we're spending $25,000 a month, $30,000 a month on lead sources that didn't work. So
that's pretty common too.
That's very, very common. So that high level visibility of the full organization is what I'm really focusing on. And again, to keep more, I can't help you make more money. I'm not that guy. I'm not one to say, I'm a marketing person and you're going to get X amount of leads. I can't help you on that side, but I can tell you where the leaks are happening with the revenue that you're already generating.